Hello viewers, hope you are all doing good. This is Geeta. Welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to see rectification of errors, miscellaneous transaction. This is the fourth lecture. I have already posted 3 videos. The link is given in the description box. You can check it out. Okay, for better understanding, I have taken transactions from TS Grewal 2020 edition. So let us get into the video. In the end of this video, I have given the key points to remember always when you are doing rectification of errors. So do not skip this video, watch it till the end. Okay, so without wasting further time, let us get into the video. So the number 1 transaction is, you have to write before doing your in the exam in the books of rectifying entry. All of you know the columns also: date, particulars, ledger folio, debit rupees and credit rupees. So the first transaction is bill for rupees 800 received from Mukesh for a repair of machinery, entered in the purchases book as 700, as rupees 700. First, what you have to do, you have to identify the keyword, which I have already explained in my previous videos. When you see a word entered, recorded, debited, posted, credited, you can do it accordingly. Okay, in the end of this video also I have given the key points. So here, what the keyword we are getting? Entered in the purchases book as a 700. Whenever it is entered, it is the prime recording, the principal recording is done in the purchases book. It is a journal, purchases journal. So when you enter in the purchases book, it will affect the corresponding account also. For example, if I write purchases of 10,000 as 1,000, I'll be crediting that fellow also as 1,000. Okay, the supplier also will be credited with 1,000 rupees and purchases account will be debited with 1,000 rupees. That is the meaning. So here it is entered in the purchases book as 700. Okay, as I have already told you, always the first part will give you the correct entry. The second part will give you what has happened. Okay, so here in the first part, it is written bill for rupees 800 received from Mukesh for a repair of machinery. Okay, the moment what happens, the children's attitude and mindset is like that. The moment they read it, they overlook so many things. Immediately what they will think, rupees 800 received. So they'll think that the cash is received from Mukesh. It's not like that. You have to be very, very careful in reading. Only a bill is received. Bill for rupees 800 is received. It means that we have to make payment to Mukesh. Okay, for a repair of machinery. Clear? So the payment has to be made to Mukesh for a repair of machinery. Repair of machinery will be an expense. Now you will ask, Miss, whether it is a capital nature or a revenue nature, because if it is a repair of machinery, it can be of capital nature also. In such cases, we have to debit the machinery account. Then it will become a error of principle. Okay, if I book it on the repair account, but here it is not given as a second hand machinery, so I have to debit to machinery account or whatever it is. Under such dilemma, you are in confusion, then better always write a note, leave a note that the repair of machinery is assumed of capital nature, which I also feel that I also assume that it is of capital nature. So what we have to do, we have to debit the machinery account and credit that individual, Mukesh. Okay, so who has given the service. And see here in purchases book, what we do, we credit the supplier. So both the ways the person individual is getting credited. So if it is simply written as it is entered in the purchases book, I need not to bother about that individual personal account, because here also the personal account is credited And what we have to do it correctly also, we have to credit, and by mistake also we have credited. But here there is one more problem, because the amount is also changing. It is not entered as 800, it is entered as 700. So Mukesh is to be credited with 800. So first what I have told you, you just keep the right person in the right place, then we will think about the wrong person. Okay, so as I have told that, I am assuming that it is of capital nature. So what I am doing, I am debiting the machinery account. Okay, so machinery account is debited. Hope you are able to see. Machinery account is debited with the right amount as 800 rupees, and Mukesh is to be credited, but Mukesh is already credited in the purchases book with rupees 700. So I need not to credit again with 800. So I have to credit him with only 100 rupees. So what I am going to do, I am going to credit the Mukesh account with 100 rupees. Mukesh account with 100 rupees, because already when I by mistake when I entered in the purchases book, I have credited Mukesh with 700. Now what is the wrong person sitting in the wrong place? Purchases account is sitting on the debit side, so we have to remove that fellow. So what we should do, we have to credit the purchases account. So we are going to credit the purchases account with 700 rupees. Now see, your total of your journal becomes right, and do not forget to write the narration. I am not writing it, I am just giving this itself as a narration, so you can write the narration. Okay, bill received from Mukesh, wrongly entered in the purchases book. So let us move on to the next item. Hope it is clear. Now a sum of rupees 200 owed by Mr. X included in the sundry creditors. So first you have to understand 200 owed by Mr. X. X has to make a payment to the firm or business. Okay, so he is a debtor. So debtor is not written in debtor side. This debtor amount is included in the list of creditors. Okay, first part what we have to do, we have to debit the debtor, that we are going to do correctly. Okay, next what I told you, that what we have to, what is done wrongly, we are going to change that fellow's position. So it is in the credit side. Now we have to debit it. Then you will ask, madam, which account I have to credit, madam? So instead of understanding this, let us go to the trial balance. Okay, so just for better understanding, I am explaining you. Suppose trial balance we are preparing, and the total, I am assuming the total is 10,000 rupees. The correct total on both sides is 10,000 rupees. Okay, so now I forgot the sundry debtors, forgot or not included by mistake. Sundry debtors of 200 is not appearing here. Okay, it is not appearing here. Then what would have been my total? My total would have been 9,800 instead of 10,000, because I didn't write this 200 rupees. I didn't include it 200 rupees in the sundry debtors. Instead what I did, in the sundry creditors, I have written 200 extra. Suppose the sundry creditor total is 2000, I wrote it as 2200. Due to that, what happened? My total of the credit side has become 10,200. Clear? So this side it is 9,800, and the credit side it is 10,200. What is the difference amount, ma? It is 400. Whenever there is a difference, the trial balance is not tallying, what we do, we operate a temporary account which is known as suspense account. So we are going to debit the suspense account. Why I am debiting? Because the shortage is on debit side. Wherever you find the shortage, you have to operate the suspense account on that side. So I have to debit it with 400, because I do not know this mistake also, and I am not having this 200 here. So instead of bringing this balance this side, I have to put it with 400. Hope it is very clear now. So now what happened? After putting the suspense account, I am started locating the error. Then I found that one sundry debtor 200 is not appearing here. So what would be my rectification? Immediately I will write sundry debtors account. This is the X account. So I am taking it as a customer. So sundry debtors account is debited with 200 rupees. The moment I rectify this with 200, what will happen? The suspense account has to be credited with 200 rupees. Okay, so one error is over. Now I have to bring this also to 10,000. By mistake I included in the list of creditors. So in order to remove that, I have to debit the sundry creditors. Clear? So sundry creditors account is debited because it is in excess. In order to decrease the credit side, you have to place it on the opposite side in accounts. Okay, so 200. So now what happens? The sundry creditors have become less with 200 rupees. So my total will become 10,000 on both the sides. I will be crediting the suspense account with 400 rupees. Now you understand? So whenever there is an one-sided error also, you have to operate suspense account. After preparation of trial balance, if there is a mistake of one-sided error, you have to operate, this suspense account has to be credited with 400 rupees. Clear? So why I have credited with 400 rupees? My total was not tallying because I forgot one item on the debit side and I have written excess of 200 on the other side. Clear? So let us move on to the next transaction. So next transaction is, if you have still any doubts, please leave it in the comment box. Okay, one item of purchase of rupees 25 has been posted from purchaser's book to the ledger as rupees 250. See here, it is only one item of purchaser's book. It means one transaction. Here you have to find out the keyword as posted. Okay, posting error. It means it is always one-sided error. One transaction. So what you do in the purchaser's book, you write the individual supplier's name, and on a particular date after 1 month or so, you are going to total that book and you are going to post the total into purchaser's account. But you are going to post individual supplier accounts separately. So whenever there is a posting error of individual item, only that individual account has got affected, not that account in which the total is posted. So what I say here, the purchaser's account is not affected, only that supplier account in which we have to write credit that 25, we have credited him with 250. Because it is a purchaser's book, we have to credit the supplier. Due to overlook, we have written as 250 rupees. What we did, we have credited the supplier with more. So in order to remove that excess amount, we have to decrease that amount. Where we have to come? We have to come to the debit side. So supplier account is debited with 225. With the difference you have to debit, because we want 25 rupees on the credit side. So supplier account is debited with 225 rupees. Hope you understand, ma'am. To suspense account, because it is again posting error. Suspense account 225. Okay, so let us, you have to write everywhere the narration, ma. Okay, now let us move on to the next item. Goods returned to Anushka, recorded in sales book. Again you have to note this word, recorded in sales book. Now goods are returned to. By means they are giving us. To means we are giving. We means the business is returning the goods. Then it is a what type of return, ma? It is a purchaser's return. I hope you are all clear with that. Purchaser's return. What is the nature of purchaser's return? The nature of purchaser's return is always credit. and the individual is debited. And what we do in the sales book, we debit the customer and sales account is credited. So here, so far as the amount is, let us take it as rupees 550. Okay. So the amount is not a consideration. What the main thing you have to remember it. Goods returned to Anushka, recorded in sales book. Here, the amount is exactly written correct, but only the thing is that instead of recording it into purchases return book, we have recorded it in sales book. So both the accounts are of same nature. The customer is debited. Okay. So what happens? So we need not to worry about the customer account. Okay. So the customer account, Anushka account is debited in sales book also. Anushka account has to be debited in purchases return account also. Clear? So only the thing is concerned, what is the right person? We have to put him in the right place. The right person is goods return, purchases return account. What is the nature? We have to credit it. Sales is wrong person. Sales account is credited instead. What we have to do? We have to debit sales account. Simply we are going to write sales account debit with whatever the amount is given. Suppose I am taking it as 550 to purchases return account or return inward account. Okay, purchases return account or return outward account. So this you have to write the narration. So this goods returned to Anushka by mistake recorded in sales book, now being rectified. Everywhere you have to add this word, now being rectified. Okay, let us move on to the last item. A discounted bill of exchange for rupees 20,000 returned by the firm's bank. So now the bank is returning the bill of exchange. This bill is already discounted with that bank. Okay, had been credited to the bank account and debited. You have to find the keyword debited, credited, posted, entered, recorded, like that. Okay, debited to bills receivable account. You have to be very, very careful while doing such type of transactions. See here, and here they have given one further information also. A check was received later from the customer for rupees 20,000 and duly paid. Okay, it means what happened? First, we have received a bill of exchange from the customer and we have discounted it with the bank. What we do when we discount it with the bank? We give away the bill of exchange to the bank and we receive the amount. So bank account is debited and BR is credited when we discount the bill. When this got dishonored, what the bank will do? The bank will take that BR to the concerned customer and they will receive the amount by handing over the BR to that fellow. Without receiving the BR, that fellow is also not going to make payment. When the bank is returning the BR means they didn't get the money on that BR. It is very clear. Instead of straight away saying dishonored, they are telling in the other way. Okay, so it is a dishonored bill of exchange which is already discounted. Then what we have to do? The original entry, we have to debit that fellow only, because that BR, when it is dishonored, it has no value, zero, until unless it is renewed. So they are not saying that it is renewed. They are saying that later they have received a check from the customer. So this BR is dishonored. So we should not debit the bills receivable account. What we have to do? We have to debit that customer. Okay. So customer account is debited. This is the right thing we have to do. Customer's account is to be debited. And what we have done by mistake, we have debited the bills receivable account. So we have to credit the bills receivable account. Clear, ma? If you have any doubt on this also, please leave it on the comment box. I'll try to further explain the whole procedure of bill of exchange, so that if you don't understand from the beginning what is a bill and how we treat a bill, you will be having a little bit problem. So don't forget to write the narration here. So now coming back to the last key points. What are the key points? Whenever there is a recorded error in the original book, error in the journal, purchase journal, or your cash journal, cash book, or whatever it is, when there is an error in the original recording, it will affect both the accounts. For example, a credit sale of rupees 10,000 to Mohan is recorded as 1,000. It means that the Mohan account is debited with 1,000 and sales account is credited with 1,000 instead of 10,000. What we have to do? We have to debit Mohan account with 9,000 further and sales account to be credited with 9,000 further. So when there is, next one I have already explained you, when there is a posting of individual transaction from a subsidiary book, there is an error in posting an individual transaction from the subsidiary book. Only that individual account is affected, not that account in which the total of the book is posted. So as I have already told you, suppose one purchase item is, when it was posted by mistake another amount, only that individual account, that personal account is affected, not the purchaser's account in which the total is posted. Okay. Next one is, suppose there is an omission of posting in journal proper. What is a journal proper? All of you know, when a transaction does not find a place in any of the subsidiary book, we record them in journal proper. The journal proper is nothing but a journal. So when there is a omission in posting in journal proper, we have to post both the accounts. Keep it in mind. Omission of posting in journal proper. Suppose the word is given in the sum omitted to be posted. That is, for example, credit purchase of your furniture is omitted to be posted. Then you have to do both the accounts. Furniture account has to be debited and you have to credit the supplier also. Okay. Then in case of wrong account, if they give it is posted in a wrong account, then side is correct, amount is correct. You need not to worry about that. If it is written as wrong side, then account is correct, amount is correct, only side is wrong. When it is written as wrong amount, account is correct and side is correct. And one-sided error, always, if it is after preparation of trial balance, you have to pass it through suspense account. You have to rectify it using suspenses account. If it is specifically given in the question, it is before preparation of trial balance, then you can give simply an explanatory note. So I think it's very, very clear now. Okay. Thank you for watching.